share about a paper that got published in Information System Journal. The paper that we developed by studying a very interesting use of mobile app in managing the restoration effort of electricity infrastructure which was damaged by the Gaja cyclone that hit Tamil Nadu in 2018. And the interesting use of technology that was there in this case was that a technology was developed overnight by combining various databases and using an open source infrastructure of Google Map. And this overnight development of technology, once put in use, invited different kinds of perceptions from people, but this perception was over a period of time evolved and perception got aligned, and this alignment of perception was very much critical to how this mobile app was used more effectively, and then this entire electricity infrastructure was restored very efficiently. Now, what was that reason that caused this change of perception and eventually a better use of technology was the most important insight here. So, what we found in this particular study by spending a longer time in the field doing this study was that when the technology was put into use, a technology which was developed overnight and put into use, it did not remain a very stable technology. During its use, users found several what we call abstract features, the features that they developed in their use that was not initially designed for. So, for example, when engineers were on the ground, they needed a way to find out how can you restore water connections, how can you identify the electricity infrastructure that is serving the water connections. They use this mobile app to do that work. That was actually a feature not designed, it was a feature that was developed during the use. And these evolution of features were very critical to why people's perception changed and it eventually got aligned, and then this entire infrastructure was restored. And we used this lens of technological framing and sense making to study this narrative. Now, beyond the findings that came in this study, we find that the insight that we developed from this paper has a bigger implication in today's context when we are witnessing a natural disaster in much bigger number and much bigger scale. For example, today we are living in the age where especially during monsoons you are seeing the floods that are affecting us, especially in the Assam that we are witnessing today. So, our study is that's where giving an implication how actually technology could be used for such disaster management efforts. And what we are saying is today's technologies are more modular, flexible, and it can be invented on the fly. So, what happened in this case, you have a database that is stored in your ERP system, and then there is open source infrastructure of Google Map, and this was combined to develop a technology overnight, right. So, that could be possible in the case of any disaster management. And more importantly, when these innovations happen overnight, once it is put into practice, new features can involve, new innovations can happen during the use, and those new innovations could be very critical to managing the restoration effort that happens in disaster management. So, this is one bigger implication we are talking about what it holds for practice, and just not in disaster context, but in larger technology innovation context, that across contexts, just not in disaster. Today technology innovation is possible on fly, and when it put into practice, the new features that can evolve during its use can lead to better implementation of technology.